Kevin, disappointing afternoon at Agborough here, a 3-0 defeat by Kidderminster Harriers. Behind very early on and then steadied the ship a little bit, but then similarly at the start of the second half, they came out quite quickly and I think that was the tail of it, wasn't it really? Just those quick starts.
Yeah, credit to Kidderminster. We identified at the start and the lads were warned that we needed to, be strong and start the game quickly. You warn the players, and like I said, I don't want to be coming in there at half time having conceded a goal within minutes of the start, and we go and do exactly that. We identified that I think Kidderminster have been in front within minutes in probably about the last 6 games, I think it is. Add together with the fact that we were behind against Gloucester within minutes on Monday. You're kind of emphasising and making sure that you're not, gifting away soft leads, and we go and do exactly that. Players have to understand and be hard against the ball and more ruthless and more demanding of one another. And again, I know people have seen it, but we're not as a group capable of being that. Enough players that demand enough and more out of each other. Good lads that they're nice lads that just again we're too accepting as a group, and you're getting at half time and 1 or 2 words are said and you look at how players kind of respond to that, and again we've been really soft in the second period there, and it's a long afternoon, poor moment situations that we accept, and we think it's just a given that's the norm at Telford at the moment, and it can't be the norm, and I need to change that.
There was a little bit of encouragement towards the end of the first half. I think they just not came into it a little bit, and there's perhaps some promise that we might have been able to.
Well, I think you take the goal out of the equation, and obviously Kidderminster in a little bit of a comfort zone at that moment. But yeah, it's fairly even the first half. I think we've had a header that's probably 6 or 8 yards out that possibly could have been worked a little bit better. I think Prince has got into a moment where he's probably made the wrong decision on the edge of the box. There's not a lot in it in the first half. Equally, again, Kidderminster maybe whistled one round the post and 1 or 2 restarts that they've put on us that we've dealt with, but there's not a massive amount in it through the first half. But we're still behind, and that's been the story and the case on far too many occasions this season. You come out in the second half, and again we accept mediocrity and say gift. I don't say gift Kidderminster the second goal, but the third goal is a gift and a poor moment, and you can't, like I say, have moments like that on the regularity that we do and expect to get anything out of games.
No. I know you've spoken a little bit this week. I think it was a little bit in the local newspaper about recruitment for next season, and then that you're starting to identify targets, but it won't necessarily be easy to get them in. There was also a suggestion as well that maybe some of the group that are here may still remain next season, that it is a bit of a balance. But I suppose in terms of that mentality change that you need in that dressing room, as you say, as nicer lads as they might be as a group or whatever, I think when there is that collective feeling, you sometimes need to make a clean sweep to change that mentality, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that we need to change. I mean, is a mentality change in games, and to be more demanding of one another. That's every one of us at the club and within the group. If we can shift that and make it the expectation that we are putting ourselves in the leading games and closing games out and winning games, and understanding how we do that. Well, if that's clearly, it looks like it, and on the evidence of this season, it looks like that will only come if there's a serious change of personnel at the club. On whatever front, and that's something we have to consider and understand. Equally, we're going to drop down the level, and just a little bit mindful of the level that we go to, and some players potentially making their way through it and can still add something to what we are and where we want to go. But it certainly needs some players in there that are going to, like I say, not be afraid to speak their mind and demand that little bit extra of their teammates that keeps the standards really high and the levels of what we're functioning at a high level, and that's really, really important for us to be productive.
Sure. I think recalling the conversation you and I had might have been in one of these. It might have been off camera at one point when you said about when we can get to a position as a club where people are able to have those harder conversations with one another in the dressing room and talk about standards and things like that, that you'd feel that we were in a better place as a club.
Definitely. I think it's easy just to, say nothing and sit there and just accept what it is. That's the easy way out. We have to have open and frank and honest conversations and discussions with one another. And, that needs to happen not just from me, but throughout the group, about where the level of quality lies and expectation lies. And, and then we need to make that the norm, not a now and again. It has to be the norm that we're working to that level. And like I say, it's all too easy for nice lads to say nothing, accept what happens, and pick up the money at the end of the week or the month or whatever it is, and we move on to the next game. And it really has to matter that you come to places like this and you're getting something out of games. And as I say, that that players in there that can drive that situation is what we need to find. Equally, players that are of a technical ability and a physical ability to be able to deal with it as well.
Sure. And just closing with that thing about constructive conversations in mind, I know you're making yourself available later this week for a fans forum with Andy Price. You welcome as many supporters coming and asking you questions as possible. Definitely.
We need to, I've just said there about, having those maybe difficult conversations and chats and what have you. Well, it's no different, and people are, more than welcome to come and pose those difficult questions to me and Andy, I'm sure. And, I need to field those questions, and people need to understand where I'm at with it and we're at with it as a management team. And and then understand how we can get better from this point and drive the level of performance and quality and ability. And that is a challenge in itself, as we know, but certainly being open and transparent with people is it's where I want to go, and hopefully will be a big step forward for us trying to achieve in coming seasons. So look, I have to, and hopefully we'll have to field some difficult questions. That's what it's about, and people are perfectly entitled to their say and their opinion, and as long as it's articulated in the right way, I have to accept that. I've been the manager here for long enough, and I need a better level of performance there week in, week out, and higher standards to be met, and I've got to try and drive that and find the players that can deliver that.
Kevin, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much.